What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew. This is Ball Hawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
All right, well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining me here today. Hey, Lions Talk Live, as you guys may or may not be aware, just about 5-10 minutes ago, it hit the news wire. I want to thank Adam Schefter over at ESPN for getting this on over to us all. But it is official. We speculated about this last week. We had some inside information that even said that Myles Garrett wanted out of Cleveland. And hey, all the knuckleheads in the comments section that say I'm always wrong, clickbait, whatever else you want to say, what do you got to say now? I'm going to say to you. Because a week ago, a lot of you guys threw some stones at me, and I'm guessing you're picking up those stones and you're going to be dead silent in the comment section because you're going to say, oops, I guess Dan was right again. What we got is that Adam Schefter broke it, had an official statement from Myles Garrett that, yes, he has formally asked the Cleveland Browns to be traded. Thanked him for their time, thanked him for his tenure there, but he's basically in a nutshell, and I'm paraphrasing here, just says, hey, he wants out of there. Is it coincidental that late last night, early this morning, whatever you want to say, some of the people I talked to in Detroit-based media came out and said that the Detroit Lions had some conversations potentially about trading Jameson Williams. Are the two somehow connected? Are they different? I don't know, and I'm going to let you guys all go after that in the comment section. Just have your own thoughts. But it does seem like from a timing standpoint, if you guys remember last year, we had some information that the Cleveland Browns and Detroit Lions were trying to make this trade happen, a trade for Myles Garrett to be specific. It seemed like both sides had agreed on Zadarius Smith, and this is about 3 weeks before everything went down and actually came to fruition. But in regards to Myles Garrett, both teams apparently did have a lot of conversations. This was confirmed from, amongst other people, Dave Burkett and many other over in Detroit-based media. One of the things the Cleveland Browns wanted, if we all recall, was Hendon Hooker. That didn't happen. The Lions didn't want to move off of him, and we get it now. That brings up the big question. Could today's or this morning's news about Jameson Williams somehow be tied to the Cleveland Browns? Could it involve Hendon Hooker? I guess we'll have to wait and see. We're going to bring on a couple of guests. One of them is joining us now, so let's go ahead and bring him on over. You guys, if you pay attention to Lions Nation tonight, you'll know him. Chicken, why don't you go ahead and tell me, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? This is your first time on Lions Talk Live. Bring the Duke Crew up to speed. Who are you, and why should they be interested in listening to what you have to say about the Detroit Lions? Give us a little breakdown on yourself.
All right, well, my name's Chicken Nugget King 313. I am a diehard Lions fan, been a fan since 98, and, I've been at games plenty of times. I'm a season ticket holder. I am on YouTube. Go check out my YouTube, Chicken Nugget King 313. I talk all sports and the Detroit Lions and even more. I talk Detroit sports. So, you get interested in me. I get interested in you. We build good chemistry from there. That's how it goes. One pride.
All right, so part of the Herman Moore and the Lions Nation Unite crew. Let's dive into this real quick. I'm sure anybody watching this show right now as we're live probably understands the Detroit Lions. They've been rumored to be in the interest for this guy, Max Crosby, whoever else for it seems like a couple years. But now, hey, we've got official news 15, 20 minutes ago. Myles Garrett has requested a trade. Do you think the Detroit Lions, A, are a destination for him, and B, what do you think it would take to acquire him?
I think Hutch and Garrett are going to do great together. I think that would be a great look, and it would be nice. But I think it's going to take some dime and a dozen to get, Garrett to get here, because we know Garrett is a quality player. He's a great, speed rusher, edge rusher, however you want to put him. And he's going to be out there to the forefront. He's going to work himself off, to get out there and get to the quarterback. He's going to do things that you need him to do. Now, Zadarius Smith, he got some pressures and stuff and whatnot, but he's not like Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is a whole other level, and he's just a talent that's pretty generational. So for him to ask for this trade and blindside us with this, it's crazy. You even spoke about Hendon Hooker and, Jameson Williams and being involved and stuff like that. But I do think that, as I said before, that it's going to take a dime and a dozen to get a guy like that. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
So earlier this morning or late last night, whatever you want to say, splitting hairs on it, I did get some information from some Detroit-based media members that the Lions potentially have had some conversations or at least thought about the potential of trading Jameson Williams. With this news coming out of Cleveland in regards to Myles Garrett, do you think there's something there? These two teams obviously had conversations last year. It sounds like the Lions tried to get Garrett then. Didn't happen for whatever reason, whether or not it actually was because of Hendon Hooker, I don't know. But do you think the timing with this is just, happenstance, or do you think there's something to this, that Jameson Williams news and now Myles Garrett on the same day?
I think it's something aligned with that Jameson Williams news. I think it's all in line with that, but you never know. Sometimes in football and even in sports, you have like those type of, smoke and mirror conversations. Dan, you and I know we all seen smoke and mirror conversations before in the NFL. And I think that when you have Myles Garrett in this talk, it's going crazy. And on top of that, it's days before the Super Bowl. It's a crazy conversation right now. So, I mean, what's the worst that can go? What's the worst that can happen at this point? So we'll see what happens. I just want to sit back and see where this goes and where it leads. And by the way, shout out LNU, Lions Nation Unite. Big shout out to us.
All right, let's head over real quick to Anthony from Roar the Lions UK. Anthony, you're getting this news. Obviously, most of the world is probably just discovering within the last half hour, 20 minutes, that Adam Schefter, ESPN, amongst other persons within national media, is reporting that Myles Garrett has officially asked the Cleveland Browns to be traded. Do you think, asking your opinion here, do you think Detroit Lions are in play for him?
Oh, 100%. Like Brad says, for every single player who's out there, you have to inquire. That is the bare minimum of your job, is you've got to reach out, and everybody has a price. Everybody has a price that you feel is acceptable for that player, that you're willing to give up for that player. And to not at least do your due diligence on it would be, neglectful of your job. So, of course, he's going to go out there, and I think he will inquire. They will see what the price is. I think the Browns are in a very bad position with Garrett. Like, he's a rich man. He can sit his ass down and not play for them. If they want to try and play hardball, saying they're not going to take offers for him, it's going to take all this, he'll just not play for them. And then they'll get nothing. So I think if you wait just long enough, you're getting close to the draft, because you've got to do it by the draft before the teams give all their picks away. They're going to panic. That price is going to come down a little bit, and you're going to be able to go out and get him. But for us, you absolutely have to consider it. Now, people are instantly going to come out and say, well, look, we built through the draft, we do this, yada, 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 yada. Priorities change. You're heading into year 5 of this Holmes and Campbell regime now. If you have one more year that is not satisfactory, if you lose in the divisional again, if you lose before you get to the NFC Championship game, you're going to be heading into year 6 of your regime, and the closest you've got is getting bounced in one NFC Championship game. That's not good enough when you go in there. So priorities change. We're not a team that needs 3 men on the roster anymore, like a brand new 53 like they did when they got here. We're 90% of the way to getting to that Super Bowl roster that we need. And the great GMs are separated from the good GMs by getting to that last 10% and then making that final push, even though it might be against how they've built the rest of the team. Are you willing to take that final leap to go and get there? And I think in our case, we're ready for that. We are in a position where we're going to be a lot healthier next year. We've seen the offense is good enough. We've seen the defense is good enough when it's healthy. We can still make additions in the free agent market. We've got plenty of cap to take this on. We've got the, draft resources to make this happen. Are you brave enough to go out there and make the one last difference that might get you up there, instead of just sitting back and doing what you're doing and not going forward? So we got 100% being on this.
Chicken, let's get back to you real quick. Any kind of idea, if this were to go down, what exactly it's going to cost the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, I hear you. I don't think it's gonna cost them down the line. I just think it's you got to go and get it right now type of deal. Like my guy just said. He said, look, we got to see what happens in April. There's a draft coming up. There's a lot of potential coming up, and whatever potential we can get at 28 will be just fine. But other than that, you add Myles Garrett, you got a healthy defense coming into next season. It ain't no stopping you. That's how I feel about it. That's how I see about it. Like, we just got to do what we got to do and listen to the right offers, listen to what could happen and how we could, pull strings together and make business work, and we'll be just fine.
We'll make this not the longest video ever, but let's real quick, Anthony, get back to you. If the Lions do have to give up something, whether it's draft capital, player package, whatever it may be, A, what do you think we give up? B, how deadly does Detroit's defensive front look if they acquire them with Garrett, with Hutchinson, Ali McNeil, and whoever else they get?
The best defensive line in the league, bar none. And I don't think it's even really close at that point. You've got a pair of the best defensive tackles, and you've got two of the most explosive edge rushers going. And yeah, it's gonna cost. But at the same time, you've got to be willing to make your moves and get to where you want to go. We've seen the issues this year. We can sit and build and stuff like that, but when you get to year 6, 7, and 8 of your regime, you kind of got to make that move to get to where you want to go. So, you do it. I mean, you would ideally not like to give up players. We've got a roster here. They're young guys. They're ours. You don't want to give up any of your blue chip prospects. You go through the draft, because draft picks you can get back. You can get those back. You can't get the players back, and you find a way. And obviously there'll be a contract and everything. But we've done due diligence with our money. Our camp is in a good situation. We've got plenty of ways we can go with this. Brad has been very good, and you will find a way to make it work. So, I mean, at the very end of the day, you inquire, you give serious consideration to it, and if the circumstances are right, then pull that trigger and go. Because he's not won a Super Bowl yet. He's not one of these washed up old Patriots you're going to give $100 million to when they've won a Super Bowl and they don't care and they just want a bag. He wants to win a Super Bowl. He's desperate to win a Super Bowl. He's on our timeline when it comes to winning a Super Bowl. Like, he's the exact sort of player you want in your building and the difference maker. Having those two on the edge, who the hell do you double team and leave one-on-one? You don't.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. It is the off season. Things are going to happen. Things are going to be speculated about, whether it's free agency, trades, the draft, or whatever. It's that time of year for every team other than 2 teams who are still in the Super Bowl. Guys, why don't you go ahead and give yourself a shout out? Let everybody tell you where they can find you and your awesome work.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at Chicken Nugget King 313. You can find me on Lions Nation Unite. And you can actually go out there and follow me on Twitter at CashChisel2, same name, Chicken Nugget King 313. One pride. That's all I could say to it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can find me at Roar of the Lions UK. We're a group of Detroit Lions fans from across the pond. So if you want to come check us out, please do so. Roar of the Lions UK.
All right, guys. Well, I want to thank everybody for timing on in today. If there is breaking news later today, I'll get it over to you as quick as possible. Otherwise, if you would be so kind, hit that thumbs up button, hit that copy button, hit the subscribe button. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your days, and we'll see you all on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Happy trails to you until we meet again.